Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Football Analytics and Run Show. And today we have a lot of Indian football coming at your way. And before we get into it, you would have seen most of our videos, and we had made a video about the Santosh Trophy. And as the tournament is currently happening now, and I think the quarterfinals just got over and the semi-finals is happening, and also it's the first time quarterfinals are happening in the history. And do give it a check. Do check our video. It gives you a comprehensive overview of the Santosh Trophy, and the link will be included in the description. So coming to our point, so you would have seen a lot of news regarding the Indian Super League, especially after India's poor performance in the Asian Cup. Is the league a success or is it a complete and utter failure? Is Vision 2047, what AFF had planned, like to become one of the top three Asian countries in top three Asian countries, and also to regularly participate in the World Cup? So is the plan going on track? Because we are reaching one of the set milestones soon, which is in like 2 years. And what is wrong with the system in ISL? So where all this news is coming from?
Which question are we answering first?
So we'll go to the ISL first. Is ISL a failed league or not? So you would have heard news regarding mostly about Hyderabad FC right now. The club is not able to pay wages of the players. They basically have only one foreigner.
I should have ordered a Hyderabad FC jersey just for the video. I should have. It would have been good for the video.
So this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you think this is a big problem, this is the tip of the iceberg. There are numerous clubs on the verge, but it's being covered up. So the problem here starts with the model in which ISL was started and the model which it's still running. So as you all know, ISL started as a franchise-based league. So franchise-based is you basically buy yourself a share in the league and then you get your team. So what you do is every year you have to pay a certain amount as franchisee fee. If you are familiar with other sports leagues in India and particularly the American sports leagues, the whole thing of franchisee started with the American Sports League. You will know what is a franchise. So I'm not going too much into it. So every year the ISL teams, whichever teams are playing, have to pay 15 crores as participation fees. So there was optimism that this would change as soon as ISL will gain recognition and they'll start implementing promotion, which was actually this year. This year was the first time it happened, because there are so many flaws in this. To put into context, the ISL winners prize money is just 3 or 4 crores.
But the participation price
is 15 crore.
But the thing we have to also realize, most leagues are private leagues. It's not the government who runs it, but a private sports body.
Yeah.
So most leagues that are organized in different sports, Formula 1, IPL, whatever other leagues you might know.
Yeah.
Most leagues have this thing that you have to buy into the league. So you have to pay a franchise fee no matter what it is.
Yes.
But if you have to pay 15 crores and your prize money is 1/5 of that.
Yes. The problem with this is, football and kabaddi, these are the two rich sports in India right now, and they're running in on
excluding cricket. We no cricket hate here. Cricket is too big to compare to these sports. So kabaddi.
So kabaddi is an example. Kabaddi and ISL came at around the same time. But kabaddi is a huge hit. Every team, every franchise, they also have 12 teams. All of them are making profit. Okay, it's not huge profit, but decent enough. They're running every year. They're introducing new things. It's very interesting. Where is football failing? So the problem here is kabaddi compared to football is an established sport. Already cricket is big. That's where the huge money comes from. Kabaddi is an established sport, and they just fed into this thing because almost everyone would have heard as kabaddi. We played randomly, so they already have a platform there, and India is already the biggest thing in kabaddi. So you already have the best that is in kabaddi in India. So that is their success point. So what they should have done is they should have understood this, that football is a growing sport. India is not one of the best. India is just good in South Asia.
Fair.
Okay, and the problem with Indians is they only know South Asian countries mostly because in cricket, South Asian countries are one of the biggest. And so they think, okay, India beat Bangladesh, oh, very big shit. Nothing is there. And so the problem arises, they adopt the same model. Okay, I understand in the start it was, because in the start, okay, it was nice because you had so many foreign players, you had all the Roberto Carlos, let's say, and what is there? So many big players. Okay. Dimitar Berbatov, so many big short games. At that time, there were like 6 foreigners who could play. So these foreign players attracted India's likes. So as some great guy said, Indians love to watch sports, not play as such.
Fair.
So they watched because they saw legends playing. That's why they watched YSL.
That's how I started. I
All
knew
of
there was
us,
a
all of
football
us.
league coming.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. Almost every player had like what you call marquee player, like big players they'll have.
And if you remember, they had this private league for futsal also.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was so fun to watch.
Ronaldinho and all played in that.
So that's that. And I think it's launched before the ISL or maybe around the same time. I think.
Yeah, around the same
And
time.
that was way more popular, but it got banned and all of that. That's a different story. But still, that is what got people into watching that league. And
Yeah.
in the same way, ISL also, because they had these
Yeah.
big name players playing in your country, you could actually go to the stadium, buy a ticket, and watch them.
Yeah.
Was what drew people to go and watch it.
Yeah.
Going back to your point.
So, beginning I understand. So, that time they were actually hitting money. The problem there was Star Sports, the broadcaster, was part owner of the league. It is very bad thing if you have a broadcasting age, because nowadays huge chunk of football revenue comes from broadcasting revenue. If you don't know how football revenue works, I'll just give you a small overlay. So, a football team earns money through mainly 3 sources. One is the match day revenue. Match day includes the tickets, the merch, whatever they get, the what do you call
Food, snacks.
I don't know what's the umbrella term for it, but you understood that. So, second is merchandise.
Yes.
Merchandise is what you buy: your jerseys, your scarves, your caps. For some teams, even sells hand sanitizers and chips, whatever random
That
things.
is your team only, no? Hand sanitizers and chips.
So I'm telling you. And the third and most important and the most modern of these 3 is broadcast revenue. And that I'm telling you because it's very big, because broadcast revenue is the main reason why Premier League is considered the richest league in the world. Because they have so many eyeballs watching it, and so many media companies pay so much to get the broadcasting rights. So that's very important. So what Star Sports did is that they got money in the beginning. They put everything in their pocket because they are not obliged to give, and they masked everything and put a compensation amount and call it Central Revenue System (CRS), and they distributed. The problem here is 15 crore is the participation fee, and if you finish top, you will get 3 crores as prize money, and then you will get around another 1 or 2 crores. So every team is in loss.
Yeah.
Every team in loss, and this, mind you, this league has been running for like that for so many years. You would have heard like sometime back that Northeast United were in a financial crisis. And that's why every time they're like, some investor has to come, owners keep on changing very frequently. So still nothing is changed. Because again, FSDL has rights now. Who is broadcasting? FSDL's own Jio Cinema. Ambani. I don't know. Some people say AFF is involved. They're getting paid for this thing. They don't have a voice. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. So the problem here is every club is in a loss. 3 minus 15. Every season 10 crore, 10 crore, 10 crore, 10 crore they're going.
And I don't.
And mind you, this is just this thing. They are spending additionally for traveling.
Yes.
They are spending additionally for paying players' wages.
Salaries, yes.
So everything. So put into context, I talked about Hyderabad. We haven't got much details regarding their financial situation.
I have searched a lot. I have tried.
But we do have details of one particular club, which is Bangalore FC.
Okay.
Their owner is Path Jindal. So if you know, they own this Jindal Corporation. They own like JSW Cements and mainly it's steel. So they're one of the rich families. So he owns 3 teams. One is Delhi Capitals in the IPL, and they own a team in the Kabaddi League also, Pro Kabaddi. I don't remember exactly. And Bengaluru FC. The IPL team obviously is making like the profit is 30 crores. They're easily getting profit of 30 crores. Net profit. Okay. The Kabaddi team is also making healthy profit of 4 crores, which is very good. The ISL team is on 30 crores loss. So, because that guy is having other teams and this guy is the Path Jindal, that guy is actually interested in football, and it was a visionary project of him to bring in Bengaluru FC, the club is still running. So there are not many clubs who are owners who are that generous.
True.
Like if you're not getting any, what is the point?
Yeah, but that's the thing. No, very few people actually owners get into the sport because of the love of the sport.
Yeah.
Most of them is just a business decision.
Yeah.
And a business that is making loss is not a business that will stay around for a long time. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
But that's a very awkward position to be in. And see, I support Hyderabad FC because I am from that place.
Yeah.
I don't know if the club is going to play next year. I don't know if it will exist as an entity next year.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. All I knew was that we started off well. I mean, like, we didn't start off results-wise well. There's a lot of fanfare. People actually go watch games. Not as much as Kerala, obviously, but we have at least an average attendance of maybe like 6-7K, which is, I think, decent in my city because people are really not that interested about football.
Yeah.
They play by themselves,
Yeah.
but a lot of people watch kabaddi, a lot of people watch cricket, badminton, and all of that. But there's not that much interest about football, and people still come and watch these 6-7K people. And the thing is, the stadium is bang outside the city, outside the main residential area. This is where all these Genpact and all this IT hub is.
Yeah.
So it's outside. So people are actually investing time, energy out of the love for their game and passion for what they consider their club to go out. But as fans, we don't know if it's going to exist next year. And that's such a sinking feeling because you don't know what is going to happen. Nothing. Such a horrible position to be in. I don't want to get into it. If we had a rich owner, let's say Ambani owned the team, I would not be in any kind of a doubt. Like, we will survive. But these guys might be rich. What Varun Tripu Naini or whatever his name is. I don't know what he does, how he gets money. I don't know any of that. I know he's a rich guy who could afford it.
Yeah.
He did it for like, I don't know, 4th or 5th season this is.
Yeah.
So for all these years, 60-75 crores he spent on only the franchising fees.
No profit.
No profit.
Nothing.
And the news came to light, if we ever make a Hyderabad FC episode, that they did not pay salaries last year also. That is one of the biggest reasons why Manala Marquez left, why many of these players terminated their contracts. So every player...
he did mention like...
that they didn't get paid last year. And last year also, he had only one demand, at least pay the wages for a few players, not even all the players.
Yeah.
For a few players you pay, especially pay to the backroom staff, for the groundsmen, for the maintenance. And since last season, they are pending wages.
Oh.
We are in to the second part of this season soon. And last season's wages are pending. Forget about a business, how is an entity that is supposed to feed families?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, for people who are playing football, it is a profession. They have to earn their money. They have to make their living through it.
Yeah.
How do they expect? And I'm not saying it's the fault of the owners.
Yeah.
But they have to take a part of the blame. The whole system is so messed up. We are going into a tangential rant. We'll just go back to the money and...
So as of now, the condition is like, there are only 4 clubs who are making barely profit. Like barely. Like say 1 crore or 50 lakhs barely. Out of that is one is ATK Mohan Bagan.
Of course.
That is because that is a legacy team.
True. Yeah, it's called Mohan Bagan Super Giants.
Okay, Mohan Bagan Super Giant. And one of the richest people in India is bankrolling that team.
True.
And they are making up for the broadcasting money with merchandising.
True.
Okay. Not as much as certain other teams, but yeah. So this is a reason. So they cannot allow this team to go down.
True.
So that's why this team is making profit. Then there are 3 more teams. Out of that, one I would say is Kerala. That is purely based on the fan base. No other explanation I can give because so much merchandise money they get, and still even after that they're getting bare profit. They have to keep rotating their squad. This is the reason they are selling. They keep rotating the squad. Other two clubs, I am not sure. I am assuming one is Jamshedpur. That's because Tata Group own it and they have an established academy, ground, everything. So they don't have to pay for the ground. So they're saving money and lot that. Then since they own the ground, fan stores, everything they are only owning. So they don't have to pay for anything. And the whole city is centered around them.
True.
So that is one explanation. Other, I think it's East Bengal. I'm not sure. I think so. So there are only 4 teams.
Like you forgot Mumbai City. They have all.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Mumbai City, I'm not sure because
it's not like they have endless resources, but it's not like they're broke also.
They're not getting profit. That I'm not. But the club is still there.
Yeah, no, it's the entity Mumbai City FC. I don't think is about making money anymore.
Yeah.
It's just about diversifying their portfolio for the City Football Group at this point.
Yeah.
But I think East Bengal is bankrolled by some oil company. I don't know who they are bankrolled by.
Oil company, I don't know.
I'll just check by the time Jittu gets on to the next point.
So you understand 4 teams, and most of these teams is because they have extremely rich businessmen, or like extremely rich, like top, like huge multinational companies, not our average millionaire which is there. And rest of all clubs, they are owned by film actors, small scale millionaires. So for them, they don't have endless money. They need to get money. So even this amount of loss is a loss for them. So it is a matter of time. I don't know. These 4 clubs will somehow get through. If ISL does not change, if it is going to be like this, the league will die. It is a very real possibility. So what is the solution to this? There is one very drastic solution, but I don't know if they'll implement. This is just my perspective. Get rid of the franchise fee. Give the broadcasting right to an external media company. So they'll have to pay money and distribute the money to the clubs because they need the money. Don't put in the pocket. If you actually want to invest in football, let football grow. Let the clubs do it. If you give money, they'll invest in academy. Something. At least it'll go to the players' pockets also. At least they have a guy who's growing up and want to play football. Okay, I can play football and get money. So it is a cycle. And this they have to do it because now they have to start promotion and relegation. If you didn't know, Punjab was not obligated to pay money to pay the league. But then, because of this central revenue system bullshit and the broadcast revenue, if they don't pay the franchise fee, they will not get any money. 15 crores they also paid. So that they'll get share of the broadcast revenue.
But the broadcasting revenue is very
less. So, I don't know. That's why it was looking very good. Like on the outside, it looks very good. It's looking very good. I'm not even joking. But if you don't know right now, we have like 4 proper tiers of professional football right now. The first and second tier have close to 12 and 13 teams. The third tier is actually a national-wide league. Earlier, it used to be some sort of 1 month, 2 month competition. The fourth tier is actually a 2 month competition. So fourth tier is also national-wide. Third tier is 8 teams and fourth tier has like a small group stage element and a final round. So it's there, at least the hierarchy is there, and below that is the state leagues. So 5 proper tiers of league football is there, which is good. But the problem here is they go up. When they reach ISL, like what is the point? That is why you see people like Ranjit Bajaj. He's a very, very vocal guy regarding this thing. You would have heard about him. Like saying ISL is a flop. ISL is a flaw. They're just making money. They're fooling you people. I used to support ISL. I used to say, oh, this is nice. They're doing this. Players started developing. People started watching football. Yeah, I understand. But where is the fruit of that? Nothing is there. Neither is the national team. Like at this point, at like 10 years, I'll give you an example. Uzbekistan was a national team which were almost as bad as that. Forget Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Thailand. These are all small teams only. They, on the big stage, they are actually showing this thing. Our players are not showing anything. That means there is no much development other than, let's say, fitness levels of the players have increased.
Fair. And because we have a nationwide league, I think the scouting and getting of new players has been more streamlined.
Yeah.
And it's
But-
not gotten better.
Yeah.
Definitely it's not gotten better. There are so
Yeah.
many people who don't get the chance even till today, even though they're good players.
Yeah.
It's just become more streamlined to get it like mainstream football in
Yeah.
India now. It's not gotten better. So yeah. Other than that, I don't know what has
No, it's not like there's no talent. I'm telling you, there is talent. If you go to a local level, there is talent.
Shout out to Stains Jaraj.
So there is talent, but the problem is there is no infrastructure. There is no hierarchy. Like, if I reach here, will I be able to play? How will I go? See, for context, I'm sorry, I'm bringing cricket again, but in cricket in India, there's a hierarchy. If you played well in your district level, you'll get into state. If you play in local level, you'll get into like selected into district team. So even that also has underage. If you play well in that, you have a state team. State team will call you. If you play well in that, eventually you'll get a chance to play in the national team. So there's a hierarchy. So each player can set a goal. If I reach here, if I reach here, there's no such thing in football.
Fair.
If you get lucky, if you have an ISL club or something nearby, and if they luckily decide to do a scam and find something and invest, the problem is they are not willing to invest because they don't have money.
It's not about them not getting money also. Let's assume
Yeah.
I am an owner.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I set up what should I say? A football club and I call it the F.A.R. club.
Okay.
Let's assume I am paying so much money. My goal is to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, let's assume my goal is not to make money. Let's assume I have all Ambani is banking me. I have all the money of the whole Ambani conglomerate behind me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about how much money I'm spending.
Yeah.
I am only passionate about football.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am getting players from other clubs, buying and all. Let's assume I have to conduct camps. Okay, I am conducting camps.
Yeah.
I will get players up.
Yeah.
Players are playing for me. They'll play in the league. They'll get recognition. They'll go up. They'll play for the national team.
Yeah.
What next? What benefit is it doing me? What benefit is it doing the player? The player, now we go back to something we discussed in previous videos. A national team. Suppose I have a player who has the capacity to play on, let's say, a Ronaldo level or a Zidane level or something of that sort. Some mad level. He has that potential. Let's assume I found a player whose ceiling is very high. We do not have the resources for it. Where is he going to train? In abroad, let's say, in England, let's say, for Liverpool, so I follow the club really well. I follow Barcelona really well. So how their club academy, most elite football academies work that way. So they have dedicated schools where in association with the club so that they can go and study there.
Yeah.
So that they finish their schooling there and their main focus is still football.
Yeah.
They just finish their schooling there. They have private one-on-one sessions with their physiotherapists, with other therapists. They're working, training, conditioning, diet. Everything is controlled from the age of 6 and 7. How do our players have a chance against things like that?
But even if they don't do that also, see, we are not that bad in grassroots level. See, there is World Cup till under 17. So there is actually an unofficial World Cup for under 14 boys also. So recently they sent a team from India. So shout out to Minerva Punjab's or Minerva Academy. Earlier, now it's Round Glass. Okay. So Minerva Academy. So they represented India and went. So there were teams from Brazil or throughout the world. So this is considered a very prestigious tournament for under 14 level. India played so well, they won the whole thing.
Damn.
Yeah. So there is talent there at that point. The thing is, after this, what do you do? There is nothing. There is a handful of standardized academies. Forget that there's a handful of proper football pitches here.
That is what you were telling me the other day, that the whole country has like 6 FIFA approved pitches.
Yeah.
That is such an atrocious thing. Like
That's because we hosted the World Cup. We had to make it.
no, the shameful thing is, I am coming back to the point of, let's assume I am a club owner. I have spent the money to scout and get players.
Yeah.
How am I going to be able to give so many resources? And let's assume now, like I said, I have infinite money. I have set up all of these facilities. So my club players are going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay? My club players have a proper transition to go all the way up. Then rest of the other country, all the other teams are at a disadvantage. No.
Yeah.
So what incentive will any other kid have to go and trial out for them? what incentive will the kid have to go and play football there?
Yeah.
Everyone will want to come and stay around in my area, in my club's district to play there only.
Yeah.
If there's no concerted effort by the federation to try and improve or get facilities. I'm not saying overnight we're going to become as good as how England's facilities or Europe's facilities are.
Yeah.
No chance. But there is no initiative in the first place.
True.
Neither do they want to make it better. And what is better, they are using it as a cash cow to line their own pockets. That's exactly the whole point now.
Yeah. See, that is where finally we land up in the so-called plan called Vision 2047.
And this is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Why it's called 2047? It will be the 100-year anniversary of India's independence. So we wanted to make it special. So they had divided into 3-4 stages. And first stage is coming 2026. So in the end of 2047, as I mentioned earlier, they wanted to make India as one of the best teams, top 3 in Asia, regular player in qualifying for World Cup, and at least winning one Asian Cup at that time, having 3 tiers of women's league, a proper structure, like at least close to 50 or 100, almost, not sure exactly, professional clubs in India. So this is much ambitious thing. First goal is happening 2026. We are nowhere near it.
I don't want to say anything.
Why? This is the whole point in which that guy, whatever his name, Kalyan Chaubey, won the election, Vision 2047. Like, we'll plan this, that. We'll have FIFA standardized pitches, FIFA standardized stadiums. Yeah, actually one stadium is coming, but fuck, that is not a football stadium. That's an athletic stadium in Ahmedabad. Put a proper stadium in which people actually play football.
Meant for football.
Exactly. Meant for football, and put it where they actually want a ground. So I'm not blaming Ahmedabad. It's not, you build random ass stadiums and people don't come, nobody uses it. What are you going to do with it?
Fair. That's very fair criticism. If there's no interest in a place, if they're going to build tomorrow a football stadium in Vellore, there's no point.
Well, they're telling you should grow the sport. I'm like, you tried. Is it working? Now at least get a maximum out of the places which people actually, even despite the lack of resources, everything, people genuinely are willing to put their career on football, like put their whole life on football. Mind you, football is a very, very risky thing. Even you go to Europe, there 99% of stories are unsuccessful stories.
And that is just how elite competition is now.
Yeah, you think football is rich? No. Let's say you get into a team, you are part of the one circle, you get into a team, you are getting decent salary. You can only play for 20 years maximum.
True.
After that, what are you going to do? You're going to live based on what you earned in that 20 years.
Fair.
Even now the players, whoever is there, even if they save up their money, that won't be enough.
No, fair. What we also have to realize is, when we are talking about successful people, this includes everyone who's actually a professional footballer.
Yeah.
We don't even mean top flight football. Professional football includes first division, second division, and I think even third. Up to third, maybe even fourth. Fourth is semi-pro. But up till third division at least for every league.
Yeah.
They are actually professional footballers. The gap in between what the top team in the top tier earns and the lowest ranked team in the lowest tier earns is so big. Imagine what the gap would be from the first tier to the third tier.
True.
So it's not lucrative at all. So people who actually played because of the love of it. I don't know how it doesn't get into thick skulls. I mean, we are going completely. I don't know this. I don't want this to become a rant.
So yeah. See, we told a lot of things here. I don't know if anybody is listening also. If you're listening, do raise your voice up, ask questions. That's the only way. Indian football is corrupt from ground, hardcore corrupt. I used to support all these things, and then I started connecting the dots, and it's corrupt from the ground. There are associations who are getting money, putting in their pocket, and they're just writing up this match happened, that's all. There's no proof, nothing. So many associations, there are handful of associations which actually have running leagues. Rest of the league is there. There are associations, like state associations, which haven't conducted leagues for 5 years. They're getting COVID affected, this, that. But they're getting money for this thing. The AIFF is giving money. AIFF is also laundering a lot of money, but still. So it is from there. Now imagine how messed up the top is. FSDL is conducting the league, you are getting the money because Indians still love watching football. It's not about there are not eyeballs. There is a huge audience. I mean, getting an average of 14,000 fans per game is quite decent. Even some European countries are quite decent. I know India is a huge country, but that's quite decent given the size of some of those grounds. So there are eyeballs watching it. Where is the money going? They are going to their pocket. And I can't advise people to stop watching football. But then, because there are a lot of normal people, the players, the background stuff, so many people who depend on it. They're getting something out of it. That's why at least they're still there. But then the model has to change. If not, this will collapse. And we'll go back to ground zero. Start all over again.
No, so basically this is what, like you said, no. It might be a flop, but we are in that honeymoon phase where we're not able to see.
See it, yes.
Red flags are not red flags if you're wearing rose-tinted glasses.
They're nice in covering up, no, this thing. They're like, none of the controversial issue ever come up. Even the media, everything is covered. Wherever you find is when your social medias, when your YouTubers show. And what they do is they start blocking off that person from everything. Make sure they don't show.
And I'm not saying we have that much of a majority of a voice to talk and all of that, but this is something that affects our daily life because football is a very integral part of our lives.
Indians watch football. See, India is the second highest watcher of football after Indonesia. Indians love watching football. There is a culture here. People like watching football. It's just that it's so much corruption happening here, so much this thing happening here. People have gone to the lost of this thing. Only way to do this is some miracle happening. It's like India go and win the Asian Cup out of nowhere.
No chance.
It's very rare because you're saying cricket that happened. That was in 1983 when like barely 8 countries played in cricket.
Fair.
That is why there was more possibility of that happening and this. India is lagging behind in SAF countries also now.
True.
There was a time when nobody even touches India in that. SAF countries, even to some extent the other neighboring countries also, Central Asian countries, all were garbage. Now all of them have caught up. Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, heck even Bangladesh can beat us now. Nepal is catching up now. These are small countries in terms of football. Heritage. It's not like India were good. India was considered the best team outside of Europe and South America in the 1950s. India were Olympics semi-finalists. Back then Olympics was played by all senior players. Olympics was bigger than the World Cup. India was 2 times Asian Games champion. Gold medalist, if you didn't know. So it was there. The heritage is there. This thing is there. India has one of the most oldest clubs, the oldest football tournaments. Everything is there. Why? I guess we'll never know that solution.
And we are just still answering the first question: is ISL a flop or and we have already hit around 30-32 minutes. That is the sad part of it. The deeper you go into it, this is like the iceberg theory, just hitting the tip. The deeper you get in, the worse it gets. And we are not saying that the other leagues don't have corruption and all that. No, that is not our intention. You flick money, that happens everywhere. That is normal. We as people have come, normal people have come to accept that fact. We're just saying, you are exploiting us. At least give us something back. No.
It's not like Indians are so don't give bullshit like Indians are genetically not gifted with bullcrap like that. Because there are
Habibi, come to Kerala.
So there are so many sports in which India are good. Badminton, for example, India is one of the best. India was growing. When India was good in football, there were so many sports India was not even known for. At that time, only thing we were good at was hockey and let's say to some extent cricket. Cricket also was not that big in 1950s. And to some extent wrestling. So these were things we were good at. There are recent sports that have overtaken football. Squash, badminton, right now even table tennis.
Exactly.
Table tennis. India just won some Asian team title. If you don't know, Asia is bigger than the world in terms of table tennis and badminton. So India is good. India is consistently in the top 5, top 10 consistently.
We are not disrespecting table tennis. I love table tennis. I play table tennis every day. I'm not good at it. I'm just saying we're not disrespecting.
So it's not about genetics, this thing. Like, look at Japan. They're short. How athletic are they? If you look genetics, they're genetically very this thing. But they have one of the best teams in Asia. top 20 ranked in football, and football is not even their main sport.
Which, how should I say, enlightened person said something like we are not genetically gifted.
I don't know, that's what they're telling. Like India is not good enough, the past is not good enough. Like, bitch, invest money, You come and watch the games, you look what is happening in deep, and then you talk. Like Indian football is like this. So much negativity. I know it's there, it's bad. But don't blame the players. It's what they have. They could only achieve this because of the resources. Sunil Chhetri was lucky enough to go train in foreign academies, and you still look at this. He is in a peak form. He's beating youngsters at the age of 40. He knows a lot of things which the Indian brought up strikers and forward don't know anything about. That age, because he got small exposure. Even you look at Gurpreet Singh, Sandhu, Sandesh Jhingan, these are all standout players because they got the
chance,
infrastructure, proper this thing. So, and also one more thing. I don't know what to say, but they're talking about IOCs, PIOs, Indian overseas citizens, players of Indian origin. If they come, will go like this. Other countries are doing, Malaysia is doing, like we're doing. That is a temporary solution. I know that will make us great because there are a lot of players who are waiting to call because India doesn't have dual citizenship. It's not happening. Even our neighboring countries like...
But that's a constitutional thing. No, we have to change it up there.
Yeah, even our neighboring countries are doing. Pakistan, even Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all these countries are doing. Malaysia, all these things, they're doing. It's not like they also have significant amount of population, but they're doing. But then that's a short-term solution. It's like the same thing as you're introducing foreigners in your league in the beginning to attract people. You have to invest in grassroots. That's the only way. Get infrastructure here. Somehow get the players to get motivated. Give them a pathway. At least they'll go to another country which has better infrastructure. Even that is not there. India cannot play in any of the top 5 leagues because there's a criteria that you have to be in the top 70 ranked countries and you have to have a certain number of national caps. Sunil Chhetri would have gotten in. He said he said like I had everything sorted out. He got into a third tier or second tier club if I'm not wrong. They said because your country is ranked 170th in the world, we cannot allow you. Your passport is rejected. You will not, this passport, your visa is rejected. You cannot work. Like no matter how much is there, because you born in India, gone. If you would have born in any other country, his career would have been completely something else.
Fair.
So many players I can say like that. So if the infrastructure is right, like why should we play football? I'll just watch football. I like football, I'll watch football. Every young generation, I'll watch football, I'll not play. I'll study. Anyway, even if I do some T-wala job, I'll get more money than a footballer.
Fair, no, that's genuinely fair.
See, this is when you say India is not good at football, players are not good enough. You make a change. You talk, instead of blaming the players on this thing and all, you make a change in your this thing. You start at your local level. See, if you go like deep, there is actually a very this thing. But once it gets into politics and once about district association, state association, that's when it gets occluded.
No, but it's fair that like there is politics in every style of football.
Yeah.
And everyone exploits the system, games the system to a certain extent.
Yeah.
At what extent does the greed overtake the love for the game is what decides how successful that country is, how successful that federation is.
True. See, football now is there. If you had like 433 recently posted a video of a local game. It's a sevens tournament happening in Kasaragod. It's a district in Kerala. There's a small ground, sevens ground. 20,000 people are inside that. They're lighting up flares. They're chanting.
Oh wait, I saw this. Yeah.
So there is culture. People love football. But then once you get after that, there's nothing. Where do you go? What do you play? What do you get? Where is the pathway? Even reaching the national team is not this thing. That is the only thing that is there. Oh, you get to represent your country. That's all. Done. You get nothing out of it. So many retired national team players are there. Nothing. They have to do other part-time jobs. They have to start business or do something else just to stay, just to stay alive, or just to get some feed their families. Nothing. Even if you 20 caps, there are people who play 20 caps in national team, 30 caps. Nothing you're getting. That's the situation right now. And because none of these people are, thankfully, they are not telling people not to go and play football. That's why you at least see some people still coming up. That is because they were passionate. But how long? At some point, people will be like, this is not the logic. I'll just move to another sport.
Yeah, that's what.
If at all, if I want to prove, I'll just move to another sport. At least I'll get recognition, money, something people will know. And also the fact is Indians, it's not like every other society. Indians will only invest once you are actually good at it. Like,
True.
you have to somehow make it through and make good at it. That's how that miracle happened with badminton. Now it's happening with TT. So someone has to become a national star. Then they'll start inviting. Neeraj Chopra, out of nowhere, he got extremely fortunate. He got one of the best javelin coaches in the world, like of all time, to train him. He trained in US. He trained along with one of the best athletes. He became a success story. Now everybody is like investing in javelin. Now suddenly we have 2, 3, 4, 5 very good javelin players. In the Asian Games, we got double medal.
Yeah.
In the recent Olympics, we got like 2, 3 javelin players. 3 javelin players, Diamond League, they are going. Javelin is big. So now it suddenly became famous. But that doesn't work with football. You cannot ask for a kind of miracle story because it's such a big sport. I'm telling you, nothing comes close. You matter how much ever you say this, that, nothing comes close. Winning Asian Cup in football is bigger than winning the Cricket World Cup. To put into context, the winner of the Cricket World Cup earns 10 crore less than the winner of the freaking Asian Cup.
Seriously, huh?
Yes. And 24 teams play that.
Asian Cup.
Yeah. Cricket World Cup has 10 teams. So it's much more harder. Don't think about FIFA and all. We have to start from ground level. And only ways you invest in infrastructure. It's not like you want to. It's not about population. This thing. That's bullshit population. Countries like Morocco, countries like Iceland, little population they have. They're playing. Look at all the Gulf countries here. I'm not saying they're great, but they're better than India.
Definitely. Let's not make this into
Look at countries like.
We can just keep on going with this.
It just keeps on going. So I'm sorry, but if you reach there, thank you. We actually discussed the most of the deep content points, everything in the earlier. So we're just going there.
If we summarize, was the league hit or a flop?
It was a success in getting eyeballs, but it was a flop in growing football, like actually nurturing talent.
So for the game it was a flop, but for business it was good.
Yes, definitely yes.
What was the next question?
But for how long? That is the thing. Yeah, that's all I think. So what we can do is you can spread on the message. This thing is there. Luckily there is hope. There are some states. Shout out to Odisha for actually investing in sports.
True.
Funding the hockey team. So many things. So there is some glimmer of hope. Some areas which is there. One state funding is enough for this thing. Now imagine if the whole country is united. We have the highest population. In terms of money, we are one of the richest countries in the world. Okay, I'm not saying it's evenly distributed, but the GDP, if you look at GDP, how much each this thing is getting, you're getting a lot of money. You guys think, now I'm going to politics, this, that. Whoever is listening thinks, keep talking about it. Hopefully at some point it reaches someone who can actually make a difference. Like, it's politics, a lot of things is there. What you can do is keep spreading, don't stop. That's all. Let's not get too emotional and philosophical into it. We'll just wind up with this.
Next episode will be fun, I assure you. We have become too depressed here. What will we be talking about in the next episode?
Next episode will come up. We'll actually.
You want to talk about Bayern, no?
Yes. See, because you said like it'll be very happy and jolly. No.
I don't mean happy and jolly, but it won't be as dark and depressing as this for sure.
So yeah, thank you for watching. If you have watched till now, and do check out. There's a lot of things which you have not noticed or heard, which your media doesn't show. And unless you are like hardcore into like certain football pages or certain news outlets, you will not hear any of these things coming out in your newspaper or anywhere. This is the sad reality. And if you want other people to know, do share. And yeah, Thank you
And
for
if you watched till this part in the video, comment, I don't know, comment guitar. But because there are no comments, if the video doesn't get engagement,
just
no
put
one
a thumbs
watches
up, something, anything.
because it doesn't. The more you engage with the video, the more it's recommended to others. If you just watch,
Yes.
also it doesn't get recommended to others. You have to interact with the video or something. So
Yes.
the usual like, share, subscribe and all. And see, we are not expecting too much and all. When we get 30 views, we are happy. We are like, okay, 30 people listen. And people don't listen past 20 minutes, 30 minutes anyway. First to 10 minutes you listen, enough. I'm telling you this in the end, I don't know why. I don't know if it matters also. But the more you listen, the more, and I'm telling you genuinely, even if there are videos on the channel with 1 view, that view will be us. And we have no problem. We will keep recording. We like doing this, we will keep doing it. But it's nice to know that someone is listening. So thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Do support us, follow us, do share our video. And yeah, bye-bye.
You sound like you're about to cry, boy.